Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're making a follow-up to the top 10 Deftone songs, where I'm going to rank Deftones' entire discography. And in my opinion, these guys don't have an album below a B tier. That is how consistent these guys are. That is how amazing these guys are. But let's jump into the tier list with their 1995 debut, Adrenaline. And in my opinion, honestly, this album is their weakest. It's going to be. However, though, it does have its highlights like Nosebleed, Fist, Seven Words, Root, and Engine Number 9 are all fantastic. I honestly rather really like this album. It's just a death by comparison type thing. But next up, though, is Around the Fur. And honestly, when I started listening to all these albums, I was pretty certain this was going to be either S tier or A plus tier. But honestly, after going through all of the albums, it's going to top of A. Sorry, y'all, it got supplanted. But honestly, I love the opener, My Own Summer, Labia, Mascara, Around the Fur is another personal favorite, along with Rickets and Be Quiet and Drive. Even Lotion, Die the Flu, and Head Up is also pretty great as well. The only track I'm not a big fan of is Emmett's. I still really like the song. It's just too long. We did not need a 37-minute and 19-second Deftones song. Sorry, but that is how I feel. But next up, though, White Pony. This is going to an S. Perfection. This is top of S, too. Nothing beats White Pony. I love it from the opener Felicity to Pink Maggot. I even like Mini Maggot. But personal standouts, though, go to Street Corp, It's Queen, Passengers, Digital Bath, Teenager, pretty much the whole thing. I could sit here for like 20 minutes and just go off about how much I love this album, but I'm not going to do that because we need to move on to their self-titled. This is going to A tier, but behind Around the Fur. Let me just start this off. It starts off with a banger with Hexagram and then transitions perfectly into Needles and Pins. I also like Minerva, Good Morning Beautiful. I even like Death Blow and Anniversary of an Uninteresting Event. I also really like With Girls Telephone Boys and Battle Ats and Bloody Cape. Once again, this is a very consistent album. It just doesn't have the same highs as these two, so sorry, y'all, but that is my opinion, and I stand by it. Next up, though, Saturday Night Wrist. This is going to A minus. And it's going there for one song, Pink Cell Phone. And I'm sorry, this is the worst song Deftones has ever done by a mile. I still don't like Pink Cell Phone, but it's got its tens, though, like Hole in the Earth, Beware, Cherry Waves, Up, Up, Down, Down, Left, Right, A, B, Select, Start, Enter C's, and Rats, Rats, Rats. I also like Kim Dracula, Combat, and River. But this is the one that has one song on there that I dislike. But now we're getting into my second favorite Deftones album, Diamond Eyes. This is going to Nest, not above White Pony, but it is so close. It is so close. I love this thing from the opener of the title track to the closer of This Place Is Death. Personal standouts for me, though, go to Beauty School, You've Seen the Butcher, Sets Tape, Command Control. Just love this thing from beginning to end. A very melodic album, but still, it has its hard-hitting moments like Royals and the aforementioned Command Control and Rocket Skates, which just smack you so hard. It is just a perfect album, in my opinion. Very close to White Pony. But next up, though, we got Koino Yokan, or Koino Yokin? I don't know. I'm not Japanese, so. But this is going to A+. Top of A+, actually. I love this thing. I love tracks like Swerve City. I also love Romantic Dreams, but the real standouts for me are Leathers, Entombed, Tempest, Rosemary, and Goon Squad. Also, Gauze is amazing as well. I love this album. I could also argue this for being an S tier, but I'm only doing 2 per tier. Personal rule of mine. I'm only doing 2 per tier. And this has to go at the top of A+, in my opinion. Next up, though, is Gore. This is going to A minus. It's not a bad album by any stretch of the imagination. I really like the opener, Prayers Triangles. I also really like Doomed User, and Heart's Wires is probably what my personal favorite on this album, alongside Phantom Bride and Rubicon. Um, but yeah, this is a pretty good album from beginning to end. I even like Geometric Headdress and Acid Hologram and Edson and Lamero. And I actually really love the title track as well. I could also argue this being above Saturday Night Wrist, honestly. But, I don't know. I think Saturday Night Wrist has higher highs, even though it has lower lows. I think Saturday Night Wrist wins it slightly for me, but it's close between Gore and Saturday Night Wrist. But that's stuff. Ohms. This is going to A plus tier. What a triumph. Because this is their 9th album. And it kicks off on a banger with Genesis. I also really like Ceremony, Eritrea, Error. The Spell of Mathematics is another personal favorite of mine. Pompeii. This Link is Dead is another personal favorite of mine as well. And Radiant and Headless and Ohms are all fantastic as well. But in my opinion, Genesis, The Spell of Mathematics, and This Link is Dead is the best of the best, in my opinion. But that is my ranking. It goes White Pony, Diamond Eyes, Koino Yokan, Ohms, Around the Fur, Self-Titled, Saturday Night Wrist, Gore, and then Adrenaline at the bottom. Still not a bad record. I would still give this like a light 8, but something had to come last, and it's sadly Adrenaline. Still love this album. Still a great album. Tell you what, everyone, drop your own Deftones albums rankings in the comment section below. And also, if you don't mind, give this video a like and give me a subscribe, too, if you don't mind doing that. I would greatly appreciate that. But I'm going to leave that up to you. But that's my feelings on Deftones. To me, you can't get better than White Pony or Diamond Eyes. I would recommend these two albums for, like, the new Deftones fans. Check these two out. But, anyway, that should do it. Gates of Aries, signing off. Everyone, have a great day.